Hey everybody, and welcome to a crazy wild ride. We're going to hear more about the Mexican mafia than we are supposed to hear, I'm pretty sure. And we're talking to a legend, man, Danny Trejo. Snoop Dogg says he and Danny Trejo are the oldest gangsters in Hollywood. And this guy is the real deal. Man, I love this episode, so let's get into it. Yeah, dude.
Bob,
What's
hey,
up?
I've crashed more cars than you, Get your puppy.
Yeah, dude. Let's not waste anybody's time over here. You ready to go, Danny?
Ready?
Okay, this is how we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Trejo. Yeah,
Hey.
dude. I want you to meet my co-host, Scott Randolph.
Hey, Danny.
Scott, what's up?
Not much.
And up at the front of the van, we got the gorgeous Paul Brisky.
Hello, Mr. Trejo. Nice to meet you.
What? Woo, check Paul's voice.
Yeah, right?
Oh, thank you.
So jealous of it. Gotta say, Danny, you've been on my list. You've been on my list of like the guys I most want to talk to on here. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, man. Do you realize that right now, your new movie, Starcrawler, Arrow, is doing the song for that?
Okay, who's Starcrawler Arrow?
Hey, Starcrawler's the band. Arrow is the girl that's singing.
Okay,
Awesome.
excellent. And is that going to be a cover of "If You're Going to Be Dumb, You Got to Be Tough"?
Yep.
How about that?
Epic.
Super cool, man.
I
Right
know
on,
everything.
dude.
Hey, remember that I got connections always, so don't ask me anything fucked up. But
I know, dude. I don't want to get on the wrong side of you.
Are you in Pacoima right now? Are you in LA?
yes, well, I'm in Mission Hills right now. It's the Beverly Hills of Pacoima.
I love it.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, I've been looking at property and I'm thinking about buying over in that area. It's beautiful.
But you know what? The good thing is that we got the big lots.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the last place in California you get big lots.
Yeah, it's right by Shadow Hills. You got the big horse properties, and yeah, for sure.
It's so cool, man. Really enjoyed your documentary. This is an RV that we do our little podcast in, but one night we set up the TV mounted on the outside. We all had our little camping chairs and we watched it and we were just like, damn, that was great.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was a lot of fun doing it. I just wrote a book. It's called Trejo, what is it? The Art of Crime.
The Art of
Redemption in
Crime.
Hollywood.
What's called the Art of Crime?
Crime, redemption in Hollywood. I just put the art because crime is the art.
That's fantastic. So is the book available? It's not available yet?
July 4th, July 6th, I think.
So as the time of the release of this podcast, that book is available.
It's available.
So
Yeah.
get your
I'll send you a copy.
I love it, man. Yeah, get your ass on over to
Is it available everywhere that books are available?
Yes.
now. I'm interested in this because I got a new book I'm working on as well. Are you trying to push people towards brick and mortar stores? Are you trying to get them to buy it online? Like, is there a way that you're encouraging people to purchase the book?
I don't know.
I think
Brick and mortar in that prison?
He's like, I got out of brick and mortar years ago.
yeah, I mean, I guess as long as the sales count towards the Nielsen.
The Nielsen rating.
So-
Yeah, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
What is that?
so dude, you are all over the place in Los Angeles with these restaurants and coffee places. How many of these do you have now?
We got 4 restaurants right now. We had 7, but we closed 2 during the pandemic simply because of the location. One was on the bottom of an office building that shut down, so nobody was in there. And then, and the other one was in the Pasadena Playhouse, and they stopped having play, completely. So we closed those 2, and then, but right now we just opened up another one in Santa Monica on 3rd and Santa Monica Boulevard, right by the promenade. And we've got, hold it, ghost kitchens on the west side, Redwood City, Pasadena, Chicago, and Miami. And I'm visiting Miami.
ghost kitchens.
Is that like a pop-up and you're going to be there for a week, or what is
Yeah,
that?
no, it's like what it is. It's kind of like 5 restaurants in one spot, and they deliver and stuff. It's like, but I'll be there. I'll go there for a week or so.
Okay,
cool.
cool, man. When are you going to Miami?
I'm not sure. We just started doing this again.
Dude, how did the idea come up for you to open restaurants? I mean, it's obviously working so well, but it seems a little bit counterintuitive.
You know what? It's a complete joke, not a joke. It was like an accident. I did everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. I did a low budget movie for this director named Craig Moss. All right. Great. I didn't know him. I didn't know who he was. Right. And I had another chance to do one for about 25 grand. Right. But my agent, Gloria, kept, this might turn into something really good. It's a good, you know how agents are. And I go, yeah, but sweetheart, this guy, more money over here. I know, Danny, but I got a feeling. And you know that look that women give you when they're telling you, why don't you go die? And that, well, okay, don't say I didn't say warn you.
Right.
So, okay, let's do this shit. So we did this low budget movie called Badass. Turns into a trilogy, make 4 times the money I was going to make on this thing, and it turned out badass on the bayou, turned into a bitchin' movie. Everybody saw it, and then, but on the first one, Badass, the director saw that I like to eat good food, and on a low budget movie, you don't always have the best catering. They'll be go get Mickey D's, get 50 hamburgers, and get the 3 for 1, the bun and some meat, and so I would order. This producer Ash Shaw saw that I would order good food. I'd have my assistant go get me some good food somewhere, and he said, Danny, you like to eat good. I go, shit, 74 years old, you better eat good. You know what I mean? And so I would eat healthy, and he said, why don't you open a restaurant? So jokingly, I said, Trejo's Tacos. Because first of all, I could see like a big diamond TT, you know what I mean? Look like a rapper, big TT, look cool. And my mom and I always pissed off my dad talking about a restaurant because my mom was a good cook, but my dad was kind of like the Mexican Archie Bunker. Women stayed in the house, and every time we talked about it, he goes, hey, I got a Keith and Merrick right there in the kitchen. Go cook whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? And so that was the restaurant for us. And when I said Trejo's Tacos, we did badasses on the bayou. When we did that, he brought me a business plan. Now, I don't know if you're like this, but I open a page. If I don't see at least one killing in the first page, it's not worth reading. And there better be some mayhem on this day. So I gave it to Gloria. She looked at it, said it's a no-brainer. Let's do it. Because they're not asking for 50 grand up front. They're not saying you have to make this many appearances. They just want to open a restaurant. So we opened up a restaurant on La Brea between Olympic and Pico.
I go by there all the time.
That turned in, you better stop, fucker. Hey, turned into a gold mine. So, whoa, all of a sudden, all these, because that thoroughfare right there, everybody stops. And so then we opened up Hollywood. Then we opened up, we had
the
7
one in
of them.
Cahuenga, I've actually
That's
gone
a
in
killer.
there and eaten.
That's a killer. Holmes.
And Paul orders Trejo's Tacos constantly by Postmates when he's working at the house.
At least once a week, if not 5 times a week. Like
I swear to
I
God,
love it.
you know what?
I love it so
Everybody
much.
keeps asking me, what's your secret? I said, no, secret's good food, man. What are you talking about? People don't come back for bad food. And I eat there. I eat for free, but I get to wait. And I send friends of mine in going on incognito, right? And they go in and order and pay and everything. But they all come back with good, with good reports. And so It's funny because my staff said, Danny, stop sending your friends in, okay? We know who they are. They scare everybody. Don't send the guy with a tattoo of San Quentin gun tower on his neck. And so, it's like, that's it, good food. And we've been successful. And I think one of the reasons is we never stopped giving food during the pandemic to the homeless and hospitals. And we fed all the first responders and all the gangsters. Hey, why are you feeding the cops? Shut up, fool, because they're keeping you out of jail, you idiot. You know.
Yeah.
And so we fed all the first responders, all the cops. We went to their command center, and they were shocked.
Danny Trejo, what a guy, man. He makes me feel good. You know what else makes me feel good? Wearing underwear from MeUndies. I'm telling you, it just makes my butt feel sexy. The fabric is so breathable and soft. I don't think that there's any more comfortable underwear in the world. And if you disagree, then they got a money back guarantee. They will refund or replace anything that you buy. That's how much they believe in it. And I love this company, man. Plus, they've got this cool membership program where they send you a crazy new pair of boxer briefs every month. And dude, it's rad. So let's get you on there, all right? We're going to get you 15% off plus free shipping on your first order when you go to meundies.com/Stevo. I'm telling you, you got to get into these underwear because they are so comfortable, plus they're sustainably made and impossibly stylish. So enjoy 15% off your first order plus free shipping and get yourself some cool ass underwear, man. Go to meundies.com/Stevo. Get styling, get comfortable, and get friendly to the environment. Yeah. Now, let's talk about Danny Trejo.
Because I don't think anybody was helping them. We fed them great tacos.
Do you ever bring tacos to the prisons that you visit?
No, you can't take food in there.
Can't take food in there.
When I go, I love going there. I love going there. I keep telling them all, hey, your first night out, come out. Food's on me.
Yeah, dude.
So it sounds like you have a good relationship with cops these days, but I assume it wasn't always that way. Was there kind of a switch where you started seeing them as friends or as people and not as like your enemy or as the people who were locking you up,
And you know what? Let me tell you something. There could be 30 of us standing on the street and cops would roll up. Inevitably, hey, you, come here. What? Come on, pick one of these suckers. But I just had the face that said I did something wrong. And so, I had a bad relationship with them. And then here, it's like, if you're not doing nothing wrong, they don't give a shit about, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, well, they're always picking. Now they ain't. They'll stop me if I'm not doing anything wrong. Hey, what's up? I was doing 80 miles an hour on the Diamond Lane. I was checking. I got a 65 Buick Riviera, right? And I'm jamming, wow, on the Diamond Lane. And I'm by myself. High road. Cop rolls up behind me, man. God damn it. Highway patrol. Stopped me, got out. Trejo, what the fuck you got in this thing, man? Because we were doing about 8. I said, man, I started telling him he was a car buff. And he said, stay off the Diamond Lane. Let me go.
There you go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I noticed as soon as I got 8 years sober, and as soon as I got sober, like I stopped hating cops, and I was like, well,
Yeah,
because
you got it. You got it.
I'm not getting in trouble anymore.
You know what? That's the whole deal. It's like, I've been stopped. Hey, what's up? Give an autograph picture or whatever. We feed them. We just came down yesterday. From Palmdale. We did a big fundraiser for police, the sheriff, and police up there for all the kids in trouble up there. So, they call me for everything, and they say kids, and yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. So you said San Quentin, and that's the prison where you were the boxing champion of the whole prison.
Yeah.
The San Quentin boxing champion.
In Soledad, I was tri-facility champion. That was all 3, because Soledad has 3 penitentiaries: Central, South, and North. And I was tri-facility champion, so that was kind of cool.
Can you help me understand what the boxing organization of San Quentin or Soledad prisons looks like? Do they like, are there refs? Like, there's a ring? Like,
No, they had scheduled fight. We used to have like fights with the 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 Army and the Navy would come in sometimes.
shit.
We they would be exhibitions, but the only problem is that damn Mexicans don't understand the exhibition. They'll come like, we got money on you, Holmes. No, wait, it's an exhibition. No, they don't start that. We got money, Holmes. And so you either had to tell the guy that you were fighting, look, Holmes, go for what or surprise him, you know what I mean? If he looked tough, surprise him. But we had some great fights. We had some great fights up there. They took all the athletics out of prison fight. They don't have no more. Now it's just a warehouse for insanity, They took all the weights out.
oh no.
Really, you can't work out in prison anymore.
Well, they got bars. You just do chin-ups and stuff. So
Right.
So every boxing match was an exhibition bout in the prison. Is that right?
no, the bouts with inmates were fights.
Oh,
I think that was the beginning of like the tough man remember the tough man contest that they used to have where a guy 145 pounds might fight a guy 180.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of the way prison fights were. You never knew who you were fighting.
wow. Okay. And it was like full like boxing gloves, like tape up the hands, and in the ring with the ref.
How do you train? Do you just fight other guys on the off time and how to-
You had a sparring, you'd spar. When I stopped boxing, I always fought, but I had trained 5 fighters and all of them won champions. And I would spar like 5 rounds with each of them, every day or every other day or whenever, because that's the way people do time all kinds of ways. You play chess, you read, you play handball, you become baseball, football. At the time that I was there, right? You box and you just box. I was such a great shape. You were like a vitamin pill. But now, like I said, it's just a warehouse for insanity. You're just doing time.
Man, and you were able to, because you were the boxing champion, that was how you were able to not ever have to join any prison gangs?
Yeah. Well, I got out in 1969. 1972 was when the mafia really came into power. And that's when 1971, that's when 69 is when they started becoming up, coming. Now they're in power. But the Mexican mafia wasn't as big as it was. So, now it's a force to be reckoned with if you go to prison. Now you got to get permission out here to kill somebody.
Crazy.
Yeah, but were you ever in San Quentin with any celebrities?
Yeah, Danny Trejo.
I mean, you were, before you were ever even in any movies, you were like a bona fide celebrity within the prison,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of how you ended up getting your first real role, right? Like when you were just on a set randomly, like for some other cat,
Yeah.
right? And then the director says, "Dude, you're Danny Trejo from the prison."
It wasn't director. It was Eddie Bunker, who was a prolific writer before he passed away. If you want to read a good criminal novel, pick up
Education of a Felon.
Right.
I read that when I was 18, and
Okay.
I couldn't believe the stories that were in there. And then when you mentioned them in the documentary, I was like, oh shit, like this guy was the real deal.
He was for real. I remember one time when my kid Gilbert was on the lam and he called me. I need some money. I went to give him some money, and he was with like 4 of his friends, and his friends, me and Eddie Bunker, went to meet Gilbert, and we saw him, and we gave him some money. Be cool, be careful. You need any help? Come over to my house. And one of the kids, what's the meanest looking white dude I've ever seen? Eddie Bunker. He had this. Even the way he talked when he said hello, it sounded like, "Want to do a robbery?" It just, no, really, it was just the way it was. I mean, he just this whole, "You want to do a robbery?" Just the way it sounded. And he said, "That's the meanest looking white man I've ever seen in my life." And And so when I ran into him on Runaway Train, he said, Trejo, you still boxing? I go, well, I train. I'm 40 years old. I don't fight no more. And he says, we need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. Now they're giving you $50 cash to be an extra, right? And he leans over and says, well, they'll pay you $320 a day. And I said, how bad you want this guy beat up? No, 'cause I wasn't making I was a drug counselor. I wasn't making $320 a week. You know what I mean? And I said, how bad you want this guy beat up, Holmes? And he goes, no. You got to be careful, Holmes. It's like, he might sock you. I said, Eddie, for $320,
He can stab me.
Shit, I didn't do that for free, homie. And I started training Eric Roberts how to box for a movie called Runaway Train. And Eric in 1985 was kind of a loose cannon. You know, he was a movie star. You know, movie stars are dick. And so I started training him, and the director kind of saw that Eric respected me. So he would do whatever I said. And Andrei Kozlowski comes over and says, you be in movie. You fight Eric in movie. And you be my friend. And then he leans over and he kisses me on both cheeks, right? And walks away because he's like a Russian aristocrat. And first of all, if you have a prison background and somebody says you be my friend, it's like, you can't, wait a minute, hold on. Take a shower to get the fucking. And then he kissed me, right? And he walked away, and I looked at Eddie. Hey, look, I'm gonna train the kid for $320, but if I'm gonna kiss that old man, I want more money. No, he's European. And I didn't, the fuck that man. He says, well, they kissed, and so I started training Eric Roberts for the movie Runaway Train, because they asked Eric, who do you want to fight with you? The guy they had picked was a pretty Latin dude. I mean, and Eric Roberts, he's prettier than his sister. You know what I mean? And so they got two pretty kids fighting in a prison, and it looked like the Battle of Two Queens, you know? So Andre kept saying, contrast. He'd go to Eric, go, ah, and then he'd come to me and go, ah. I turned to Eddie, hey, is he clowning me? And he goes, Trejo, shut up. And so I'm dummy, but I got a SAG card and I trained Eric Roberts. I fought Eric Roberts in the movie Runaway Train. And that's how I got in the movies. And the first 5 years of my career, I played inmate number one, bad guy, Chicano dude, tattooed dude, vato. I've never had a name. The first name I got was Art Sanella. I played an Italian in Death Wish 4 with Charles Bronson. And I got to meet Big Charlie.
That's great.
That's
man.
great.
Yeah.
You ever get in any fights on the movie sets, or people were pretty scared of you?
No. I've had to calm a few people down and tell them, I'll beat you to death. Oh, shut up.
What was when you mentioned the Mexican mafia, it reminded me of some stuff that I saw in the news not long ago, where like the Mexican mafia was upset with somebody who made the movie. Was it American History X or something like that? And you stepped in and calmed everybody down.
It was American Me.
American Me, yeah.
American History X was backwards. This guy was a racist, and then he goes into prison and he becomes a non-racist. It's the other way around. You go into prison non-racist, you come out racist. You know, and that's just the way it is. And a lot of the trouble that we have out here with racism stems from prison.
Okay.
Because when they go in, they have to stick with their own race, and then like you kind of just get indoctrinated.
Absolutely. Go with the wrong one and you're in trouble.
Right, and so like, did I read that right in the news that you like smoothed everything over with the Mexican mafia and this movie guy? Danny Trejo holds nothing back when he's talking about the Mexican mafia. So why would I hold anything back when I admit to you that I got pretty fat recently because I fell off the sugar wagon, started eating all this candy and cake and just awful stuff, and it got ugly really fast. But I'm fighting back. battling the bulge. And you know how I'm doing it? With my Whoop strap. What is it? It's the most sophisticated fitness device and app known to man. It tells me everything that I could want to know about my fitness, my health, my sleep, my recovery, and it is the most useful tool I could possibly have to get back in shape this summer. And I want you to get in shape with me, man. So you're going to go to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com and use the promo code STEVO to get 15% off at checkout. Why are you going to do that? You're going to do that to get in great shape and to know what is going on with your health. All right? And how are you going to do it? You're going to go to whoop.com and use the promo code STEVO. You're going to get your Whoop strap totally free and 15% off your membership checkout. So get on it, go to whoop.com, and let's hear about the Mexican Mafia.
There's a documentary, Mundo, one of the Mexican Mafia guys that did a documentary. I forget what it's on, but he says Danny Trejo is blessed. He walks on both sides. And that was a hell of a compliment coming from stone cold enforcer of the mafia. But it talks all about Edward James made some serious mistakes, man. I would rather have a mangy dog for a friend than an enemy. All right. And he just really disrespected some people that were still alive and some people that passed away that had good reputations when they were alive. So he got in a lot of trouble. So he won't admit it, but yeah, I saved his life.
Man, I mean, dude, I remember because it just jogged my memory. I remember thinking, dude, Danny Trejo just fucking cleaning up some messes with some real heavy hitters. Fucking scary shit. I thought, man, Danny's for real.
One of the guys that told me, see, because I was doing a movie called Blood In, Blood Out, which was Taylor Hackford. And I got offered a part in American Me by Edward James. And me and Eddie Bunker went and talked to him and his manager over at, what's the name of that restaurant on Ventura Boulevard? There's
Casa Vega.
Two of no. There's two of them. It's a like a Jewish deli.
Cantors.
No, it's on Ventura Boulevard. Damn it!
Might be
It's not Trejo's Tacos, so
No,
fuck it.
there's one by a bowling alley on Ventura and by Vineland, and there's another one.
Jerry's.
What?
Jerry's Deli?
Jerry's Deli. Come on,
Deli.
you fuck.
Okay.
All right.
Jerry's
All
Deli.
right.
Okay, so, and we went and we met him and his manager there, and I didn't like it from the start because he showed up wearing like a county jail shirt and county pants, looking like in a headband, looking like a cholo from East LA. I'm telling you, hey, we're in Encino, fucker. What the hell you doing? And he's one of those guys that has to stay in character, and those guys, they bug me because if you're playing a killer, how do you stay in character?
kill people.
That's fantastic.
so we talked, and it was like we asked him, hey, did you clear this with Joe Morgan? Joe Morgan was like the leader at the time, the Mexican mafia, and yeah, we did, and boop, that was a red flag right there. Me and Eddie both looked at each other. We knew he had, because Joe Morgan, we knew, and we knew that there's some things in this strip that he would never approve. So, okay, so anyway, we left, and then that afternoon, I got a call from Joe Morgan. Well, I got a call from my cousin Sal, who was in the county jail, and Joe Morgan had come down from Folsom, and they said, my cousin called and says, hey, Danny, hey, do you know Joe Morgan? Yeah, I know him. Well, are you okay? Are you in trouble? Because Joe doesn't call anybody unless it's, we're going to kill you, or, did you get the stuff? It's like, so I said, no, I'm in no trouble. Why? What's up? Oh, he wants you to go over to Eddie's at 5 because he's going to call you. So, okay. So you get a call from Joe. It's not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. We all have that friend.
It's like getting called into the principal's office.
And so I go to Eddie's. Eddie answers to me. Hey, yeah, hold on. He's right here, Holmes. Gives me the phone. What's up, Big Joe? What's up? Hey, Danny, I understand you're up for that movie, American Me. I had just gone, show you their pipeline. I had just met him at Jerry's Deli that morning. I was at Eddie's getting a call from him at 5.
Jeez.
Now he's locked up. And I hear you up for that movie. Yeah, well, I'm up for both of them. Which one? Which one are you going to do? I said, I'm going to do Blood In, Blood Out. Oh, yeah, that's the cute one. I'll never forget that. That's the cute one. It's all about murder, prison gangs. Yeah. He said, yeah, you know what? Because there's going to be a lot of trouble with that other one. That guy said he'd come up here. He didn't visit me. I refused to see him. So it's I'm glad I didn't do it.
Wow.
So on prison movies, like in your consulting, do you guys have to sign off with like the shot callers to see if it's okay to like do certain things?
You know what? No, we don't have to because we know what's right and what's not. You know, if they're going to disrespect somebody that's alive or somebody that's dead that wait a minute. You know, I remember when they were doing a movie in Venice and they were wanting to use Venice 13, that's line. And I remember I was driving by and I stopped and I, wait a minute, this is a movie set. And I just stopped. I said, what are you guys doing? It says, because you can't use that, Holmes. That's a real gang. You want trouble with them, you're going to, really? Oh, woo. Then it's 15. Good. That's good. And so basically, Blood In and Blood Out and American Me were the same subject matter, but one was La Onda, which was my gang. The other one was the Mexican Mafia. That's a real gang. You understand? So even though they were about the same thing, this one was fiction, this one wasn't. You know, Eddie would have been better to do a documentary.
Does La Onda mean the wave?
The way it was.
The way it was.
And the problem with American Me, the main problem was that one of the characters was raped in prison. Was that what it was?
Raped in juvenile hall.
Yeah, and that was a real person that they're.
And it didn't happen. And then it said that the Mexican Mafia killed Cheyenne. They didn't. The northern faction killed him. You know, so it was basically, Edward didn't understand. See, that's the problem with guys that have never been on the streets writing a documentary about the streets. It's that, wait a minute. It's like, I remember saying, this is not facts. And him saying, theatrically, it really works. I said, you're not dealing with theatrical people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? These guys will kill you.
Yeah, this is the most fascinating.
Yeah, this is it.
I can't even stand it. This is so fascinating.
What was your workout routine in jail? I mean, how many push-ups are you doing? How many sit-ups? Because you were pretty jacked. You still are, but I mean,
all day. You worked out all day. The way I did my time was working out. So if I passed a bar, I'd just start doing pull-ups. If I passed the sit-up crunch, I start doing. That's what you do. You do all day. So basically, that's one of the things that killed me when I came out here to box. I did time exercising, training. That's the way I did my time. Out here, I'm running at 5 o'clock in the morning thinking, these people aren't even awake yet. Because I'm not doing time. So the hardest thing for me to do was stay in shape. I started boxing. Howie Steinler literally said, Danny, you could be a champ, man, but you got to work out. I would go in to train with a client from Narcotics Prevention Project that I had to take to the hospital. So, hey, let's hurry up. Let's train this. Let me get these 5 rounds in. So it was boxing. You have one God, and that's boxing. That God is a very jealous God. If you try to do anything else, you look at everybody that's tried to do something. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
the greatest MMA fighters ever. She could still be fighting if she didn't start modeling, if she didn't start,
Movies.
doing movies. I mean, I'm serious. It's like, nobody could beat her. But
He would, man, with the rapping.
Yeah, Tyron Woodley.
hey, if I'm getting paid 160,000 for my face on the cover of Bitchin' magazine, and I go into a fight, last thing I want to do is break my nose.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like you can't. That's it. That's all you do. And I came out here. I got into club fighting, and that was just going to the Red Barn, going to wherever. And it was kind of like a tough man contest, but you made like 600 a week or some cash. And every once in a while, they're training a kid, and they would say something like, "Hey, we're trying to bring this kid along. He's going to go pro." I said, "You just put a couple hundred in the envelope. I'll give him a good fight." And then I became a good actor.
So, dude, so good. So now you got sober in prison?
Yeah, 1968. I came out of the pen. Well, I came out of the hole, and I just asked God to let me die with dignity, and I'll say His name every day, and I'll do whatever I can for my fellow inmate. And I got kicked out of the hole, and that's what I started doing. I became chairman of AA. I became inmate social catalyst, and I just started doing whatever I could for my fellow inmate. I said inmate because I never thought I was getting out of prison. And the parole board, Mad Dog Madden, that's his real name, said, "Give, you know what? We're gonna give you a RUAB, give you 30 days, get out of here. Bring us back a life sentence." I'll never forget that. Said it so calmly. Bring us back a life sentence. In other words, I had a 10-year top, so that's all they had me for. So I said, "I ain't coming back." And I remember I said, "That's it. Now I got to learn how to be a nice guy."
Dude, it's such a good deal, man.
Were you were you shooting up like while you were boxing, and like you would go and like, would you ever go high to box or?
I did everything. I shot. I shot heroin and boxed. And I drank and boxed.
In
Drank
prison?
Pruno. Yeah, I drank Pruno, which is the worst thing in the world. If anybody out there drank Pruno, you're a damn alcoholic. Okay. It's so funny when I go to prisons and I talk about alcoholism and drugs. I says, "You know what? Let me tell you something. If you guys in here, anybody here drinks Pruno, you're an alcoholic, okay? Because if you got to drink that stuff, you're fucked up, Holmes. It's the worst tasting shit in the world, and but it'll get you drunk." So I talk about that, and I fought loaded. I fought loaded on heroin, and I fought drunk. Got hit up pretty good, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
gee.
this, the hole you're talking about when you got out of the hole, was that like, I heard,
Solitary
yeah,
confinement.
you were in solitary for like 3 months or something like
Yeah,
that?
that ain't nothing. My cousin did 16 years. Gilbert, he went to the hole for stabbing a guard. Stayed 16 years. So, and in my time, like when you stay in a hole a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, that's a long time. 18 months. Mario stood 4 years. My assistant, the guy that I met in San Quentin, when I was doing blood in, blood out, he was a resident. He refuses to be called an inmate. I was a resident.
That's great. Dude, that's so good.
So was San Quentin like the top tier place you don't want to go with? Alcatraz was going on at that time.
Well, no, they closed Alcatraz in '63, and Alcatraz was just like San Quentin. It's just freezing, but visits were harder. That's the thing about prisons. Location. It's like it's funny because like Mario was not a what do you call it when you're good? Not a model prisoner. So they sent him like Southern California, you want to stay in Southern California because Northern California is there's factions. There's sureños and norteños. They fight. So if you're not well liked by prison, they send you to San Quentin if you're from Southern California because you're already marked. You understand? It's like if you're not liked in Northern California, they'll send you to Southern California. So you have problems. And Mario was sent to San Quentin. So when I'm there doing blood in, blood out, Norteños all wear red. They're all wearing red. Yeah, and so I look out and I see two guys in blue shorts, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with this picture? So I went out and I started talking to him, and they, it's from Baldwin Park. Yeah, we got to represent. And I said, well, have you got stabbed? Yeah, we had fist fight a couple times, but it's basically hold their mud and don't disrespect their flag or disrespect them, or stay to yourself. And so they were all right. But I said, well, come do this movie. And he kind of told me, well, you know what? The mafia kind of said nobody, nobody from the South can do these movies. So,
Now,
so we became friends.
with the American Me thing, I mean, it's such an old movie. Why did that just come up in the news so recently?
Because people didn't forget it, and I think they killed somebody that had something to deal with that. And
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a couple people I think maybe got killed over that, and that's what made it recent.
Jeez.
So, dude, just trying to add it up. You said you got sober in '68. So you've been sober for 52, 53 years? 52?
Be 53 August 23rd.
Man, congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
The anonymity.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Last thing I worry about is anonymity. My story came out on the front page of the Times, so it's so funny. I met my mom and sister. I got busted in 1965, and it came out all over the paper, right? When I got busted, I hadn't seen my mom and sister since I was 3 years old. So they came up to the county jail to visit me. And that's actually where I met my mom and my sister, was the visiting room of the county jail. So
Oh wow.
that was kind of like weird.
oh wow. I don't really I mean, I should say when I got sober it was a pretty public ordeal as well. And still though I think that like the whole traditions of anonymity, for me it's it just becomes a little bit slippery, like with what your motives are. Because like for example, there was one time when my agent brought me something. They said, oh, like they've got this school that wants to pay you to come and do like a Q&A on mental health. And I didn't even think twice about it. But when I did the Q&A, like every question, I would kind of say, like I would say, I really don't like have experience with this type of mental health. Like I come at this from 12-step sobriety kind of thing, and so it really automatically I kind of was just talking about 12-step sobriety for money, and that's where I remember when I got done, I felt like like that's a slippery slope.
I use the 12 steps in every area of my life. And it was like, I wasn't the first one to break my anonymity. The papers were. And, the thing is I'm not selling
Yeah.
stickers or books or
Right.
stuff but I will say, I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous, and I'm a member of Anonymous, all that, you know what I mean?
Right.
The pandemic, I had so much shit up my nose. They test you every time you're going to be on a set. I mean, am I doing cocaine again? My nose all fucked up.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But,
you're one guy. You're one guy I do not worry about. I think.
But the thing is I just I go and it's funny because if you look in juvenile hall, there's probably 10% of the kids in juvenile hall have an alcohol and a drug problem.
Yeah.
I thank God I took my kids to AA and NA with me all the time, right? And so they weren't ignorant of sobriety. That's what I got to say I did. They might have hated the program while they were going, but I think when it came time for them to give it up, they knew where to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The seed was
I think
planted.
my son told me, Dad, I went to so many AA meetings. The first time I smoked weed, I felt like I slipped.
That's great.
Yeah.
I had I had a little fellowship conversation after a meeting one time, and this lady, she said, she just said to the group, she said, I've got this kid. I forget how old he was. Maybe he was like 8 or 9, some 10. She said he shows all the signs of being an alcoholic, and I just see it. It's all there, but he's never even had a drink yet. I mean, what do I do? She says, I feel like I want to hand the kid a fucking drink and a joint and say, hurry up, get on with it, so that he can hit bottom and then get sober.
I mean,
But you know what? I think addiction. There's a part of addiction that's in everybody.
Sure.
In everybody, addicted to model cars, addicted to this, addicted to that. Oh, I love this. And right now, it's like there's so many kids addicted to the
Video games, cell phones.
video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's hard. It's hard when people's lives are unmanageable and they don't even do drugs or alcohol. You're like, I don't even know what to tell you. I work with a lot of younger guys, and they're like, I think I have a problem, but they're like 17, 18, and I'm just like, I don't even know. It's like it's hard to like kind of say if you're an alcoholic or not, if until you're like,
You know what? If you're addicted to anything, it's like you just got to get interested in something else, and that's the hardest thing in the world to get somebody to do.
something healthy.
Something healthy. I mean, I love the program. The program is so healthy. Now the fact we're opening up to meet. I went to a meeting yesterday, last night. No, night. Anyway, night before last. So I'm now meetings are opening up again. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm right there with you, and I couldn't be more grateful, dude. I could not be more grateful. And I do believe you've heard me say this before, but I am particularly grateful that I got alcoholism so bad that I had to do something about it, because
Exactly.
the worst thing I can imagine would be to just kind of have alcoholism just bad enough that it can screw up my relationships, stop me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish, just make me just fucking ineffective at my life, and then all my years slip through my fingers and the years turn into decades. But that didn't happen to me, man, because I had alcoholism so fucking bad. And now I'm sitting here with like the last 13 years, I have not wasted time or resources on fucking bullshit that just causes wreckage. I've been pretty focused on what I want to do, and man, my life is good.
I just, what, it's like what you're saying. My life is just just goes on. I don't even know what I'm doing 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? My driver just came in, and I had to leave him. Mike, what am I doing? Oh, you got this. Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know I was going anywhere. but that's the way. Who cares? It's like it takes about 4 people to run my life, and I'm glad, because otherwise, I wouldn't know it. I'd be out there working on a car.
Dude, I love it so much, man. It takes a number of people to run my life too, but that's a quality problem.
I
Yeah,
love your dog. Your dog's like, all mine are asleep too. Like,
right. I found this dog in the streets of Peru. Brought her
oh,
home.
really?
Yeah, I brought her home from Peru, man. This is my girl.
That's
So,
awesome.
I want to ask you one more question, and then, get clear on what it is that we're promoting for you. But I'm just dying to know. You got the acting, you got the restaurants, you got the book, right? Is this your first book? It can't be your first book.
That's my first book.
What's your first book? Okay, so
I got the record label too. I got a record label.
Oh, well, how about
Oh,
that?
nice.
That's killing it. We just went down to Pomona and entertained all them little kids down there that are or immigrants that are being housed there, and they loved it. Some of them kids hadn't smiled since they've been there, and they were cracking up and singing with us. And on the 24th, we're going to Long Beach to sing for those kids. So
That's great, man. How is the restaurant stacking up against the acting for revenue for you? Is it
I don't know.
that's
I
the
got, you're gonna have to ask Mary Matickle, my secretary. She knows, or Gloria, my agent. I don't even know. As long as I can go to the ready teller, I'm cool.
oh, dude,
That's great.
that's the best. And do you sell merch, Danny
Yeah,
Trejo?
yeah, absolutely. The restaurant, Trejo's Tacos and Trejo's Cantina and Trejo's Cerveza. I don't drink and I sell beer.
Yeah, dude. When on my
Oh,
I got a comedy tour, and I don't drink, and I got my audience fucking breaks the records every time for like that. My audience drinks more fucking alcohol than anybody else coming through these places I do shows at.
yeah. Hey, just make sure you have some literature on the way out. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know, you can always tell too, man. Like the people who are really disruptive at the shows, speaker yelling out, you know, and say, "Man, we're saving a seat for you."
Yeah, got you.
Okay, so we got the book coming out. It's already out as of the publication of this podcast.
July 30. Yeah.
Yep. And so we don't give a fuck where you buy it, but just make sure you get your hands on that book,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if you're in LA, is it Trejo's Tacos, Trejo's Cantina? This is only in LA.
Both Trejo's Tacos or Trejo's Cantina.
Are we going to expand to any other states? And
Well, we got one. Yeah, we got Florida. We got Chicago. We got
that's
Redwood
the Ghost
City.
Kitchens.
Yeah, Ghost Kitchens. But here, we just opened one in Santa Monica on 3rd and Santa Monica Boulevard, right by the promenade.
Okay, dude,
That was cool.
that's got to be a expensive rent.
Yeah. But I don't know. Ask Mary.
He's like, I don't know.
Do you get something on the menu every time, or do they make something special for you?
Yeah. You know what? What's cool? I eat for free, man. And I can order whatever I want. And basically, the restaurants, if you go in there, hey, could you do? Yeah. They're cool.
So what's
Yeah.
your order? What do you order when you go?
Nachos are so bitchin'. What I do is I order nachos and 2 eggs on top. That way I kill lunch and breakfast at the same time.
So that's
Yeah.
the Trejo special.
Trejo special.
Dude, I got it, dude. We're going to Trejo's right after this.
All right,
dude.
cool.
I love it. What about social media? Like, are you on all there?
Yeah, we're on all of them. We're on everything. We're on
Okay, dude,
everything.
I'm gonna find you on there, dude. I'm gonna find. So, what else can we point people to? We got every single social media platform to follow you on. We got the book to buy right now. We got the restaurants to eat at, and
Record label. And we're getting ready to drop another album called Trejo's Soul Classics. And
damn.
right now, the record that's out is Chicano Soul Classics. Something like that.
And do we have any movies coming out?
Yeah, but they're the ones you can't talk about. Let me see what.
gotcha.
So that means they're a
Secret
big deal,
movies.
dude.
Secret movie.
Yeah. Oh, you know,
Hey,
dude.
I'm on a cartoon, Big City Greens. I love that one.
All
Hell yeah.
right. Yeah, and I want to point people towards your
Victor and
documentary.
Valentino. Victor and Valentino. I'm in that cartoon too. And
Yeah.
then movies are
Minions.
Got so many
I'm
movies.
in
I
the
can't remember.
Minions. I'm in the Minions.
Nice.
I'm in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Thank God.
Hey, check this out. I went to Super Bowl, right? And Snoop Dogg was performing. And he calls me up. Come here, Danny Trejo, come here. And I walk up onto the stage, right? And it's an open mic. I didn't know it, right? And he goes, Trejo, this is a bitch. 2 of the oldest gangsters in Hollywood, and we're in SpongeBob SquarePants. That everybody just went nuts.
I love that, dude.
That's cool.
Wow. Wait, Danny, I gotta ask. I mean, you're 77 years old. Is that correct? And you
Yeah.
are thriving. You have so much going on. You're showing no signs of slowing down. Is there any secret to that, or
Exercise.
Eat right, exercise, help other people.
The only vice I have is Tostitos chips.
Ah, man.
Damn, dude. Well, it's inspiring to watch.
It's inspiring as fuck, man. I really do. I was so happy to learn that we were gonna get to do this with you, man. And dude, I appreciate it. I really do.
God bless you guys.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, God bless you, dude.
We seeing you at the restaurant, homie.
Hell yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah,
Thank you,
dude.
Danny.
Respect.
How about that, huh? I don't know what I enjoyed more, the podcast or the spicy shrimp burrito bowl I got from Trejo's Tacos afterwards. But man, it is all good stuff. And here we are. You know I love you people, the wonderful people who stick around to the very end. And I don't have anything to tell you guys except I love you, man. And I feel like this podcast is just getting really good, man. So thank you for watching.